Do you have your passport? Let me think. Let me think. Because it's so bad. You hate your what? Are we live? Oh my God, we're live, people. We are live on the air. We should be live right now. Do you have your passport? Do you have your shot? Girl, don't you want to come with me to America? Wow, what a terrible person, actually. Terrible person. I don't know if you all know. I just watched the R. Kelly documentary. So sad. They put it on. It's like so good. It's a lifestyle documentary, but they put it on Zoom. No, they put it on your boy's channel, the old Netflix. You know, your boy's Netflix. Check that out. What do y'all see right now? How does it look over there? You see that comment cam? That's the comment cam. You know why? Because I care about the community. That's why. God damn it. Can y'all see that though? Are y'all getting comment cam or are you getting me? No, you should be getting comment cam. But it's frozen, isn't it? Oh, come on. Always something. Always something, isn't it? I got an M1 chip, baby. What is this? I got an M1 chip. Excuse me. Do you see how God is testing me? Oh my God. And now the comments are not even showing in the thing. Why? Oh my God. What is it doing? Hold up. There it's back. Okay. God is great. God is great. Do you have your passport? Smooth operator, Amish. That sounds like you're saying I'm the smooth operator, which I'm not, obviously. Nothing smooth about this chop. What is this? Matt Juninga, good morning. Let me close more windows. Is that what it is? I got too many windows open? Ah, God, why do you test me, God? I said, dear Lord Buddha, why do you test me? Yahuvi's here. Urena Brew's here. Dylan K. Handley is here. I am also here, by the way. My face is just choppy, but my audio should be coming in clean. And what's that? Why is it in the corner for 2 seconds and then it comes back? Are you guys, can we figure it out? Hey, figure this out. I've had enough of this. But this is Amish Patel here with Tuesday Drip, Rip, and Dip. And that's it. And we're doing another day on Zoom. And you should be able to hear all the sound that I have. Hold on. Let me just make sure I'm sharing the sound. Let's share the sound. Share screen. Oh, man. It keeps disappearing, coming back. Ugh, okay. I can fix that. Share screen. Advanced options. What? No. What are you doing? Share screen. Yes. God is great. And computer audio. God is great. Oh, my God. Why are they making me put in my password? Enter your password to allow. Hello? Can y'all hear me? Fixed. It started when you showed chat. Before chat video was fine. Okay, cool. How about my audio? My audio is coming in clean right now. It should be coming in very clean, very tight. Hope you're all enjoying this week so far. Yes, we are. It's Tuesday, baby. And God is great. And God sent me so many reminders of his greatness. So many reminders of his greatness. But first, I want to show you some sound effects that we have. And we'll maybe try to go through some examples. So this is one that I found because, you know, we always do some shocking stories here, some crazy stuff, some wild stuff. So I thought it would be good that when you hit a wall of like, oh, God, what is this Kali Yuga, huh? This world is too difficult, God. Oh, Lord. That's way too loud. That is way too loud. Did that hurt everyone else's ears too? That hurt my ears too. I will not press that button again. I swear to God. Did everyone hear that? Did that burst everyone's ear? I'm so sorry, everybody. Okay, well, clearly I got to put this volume down, at least for me. But tell me if this is banging in your ears right now. Okay, I'm going to do this. No, that sound effect is so loud. Let's do the pray. Okay, let me do this one. Nothing there. Praise God. Praise him. Who's getting that? Who's getting that? That's reasonable, right? Or no, is that am I blasting your ears right now? Tell me, is that reasonable? Come on, community, work with me. Thanks, actually, Jay Gabru. Yeah, that was loud. LOL. Okay, cool. No, I got it. Smooth operator. Oh, Lord. Yahuvi, that was good. Oh, so those two were good. Damn. Okay, let me open the settings. Hold up. Let's configure Stream Deck. Let's take Lord and put that volume way right down there. Okay, now let's try it again. Okay, now bear with me here, y'all. Bear with me, community. Is that okay? How we doing? Sorry. It's the way that I flip my screens back and forth. Alex Winters, yo, we out here, baby. I know you. I know you own many NFTs, bro. Send me yo Addy. I got you. Alex Winters. Man, the amount of people, even the person who jacked my Instagram account, they were selling like a get rich on crypto class. They were selling a get rich on crypto class. And we called him right here live on the show 4 times. I think it was 4 or 5 times we called him. And he had clearly no integrity. He had no qualms about attacking a spiritual teacher. And he had no integrity. But you know what? That's the game. You know what I'm saying? We are in Kali Yuga. Like I've been saying, this is Kali Yuga, people. The time of great suffering, the time of the ego, the time that the ego is most powerful. And that's why I got to play this next sound effect. So this, I'm thinking, I want to say this to y'all, but I want to say this to the community at large. Here's the next one, okay? And this is not about actually dying. This is about ego death. But take a listen.
I'm glad you've come. Now you are going to die.
Ego death. Ego death, not physical death. And ego death is a joyful experience when you have the ego death. It is a suffering, but we've talked about this on the drip before. Because what is a rip and dip but a system for getting the drip? Does that make sense? You rip, you go on a rip, like you go on a rip, even if it's a rant, that's fine, but maybe it's a rip in your life. You go on a rip, but you do your karmas, you know, that you are being called to do. You genuinely express yourself. You're not trying to impress anyone else, but there's an expression inside of you. And that's God's little voice saying, go on a rip, baby. It's just giving you all this information so that you can take it all in, go to sleep, take it in, go to sleep. And then one day a little voice will whisper in your heart, in the ear of your heart, and it'll say, you need to go on a rip, baby. And then God gives you a little mission sometimes in life, doesn't he? Sometimes it's the world. Sometimes it's God. But, you know, opportunities come up for you. You know, maybe you're doing a speech at your sister's wedding. You want to rip it. You want to rip and dip on that speech, right? You want to make it a real banger. You want your mom, dad, everyone to be like, oh, it was like the speech. Let's be. You want to go on, you want to have rippers like that, right? Well, guess what? That's a little mission from God. And anyway, so that's the rip. Let's just say I'm using that as a metaphor. Obviously, as I'm a comedian, so my metaphor is my example is like you're doing a wedding speech. But then when you're on the rip, it is it's mysterious. It's an original creation that you're creating in real time right now. So you don't know how it's going to end. So there's always a point on your rip that you do everything you can do, but then you have to let go and let God. And that's the dip. Ego death. Ego death. This is the structure of all storytelling, all stories in society. I really should get a marker board up here so I can show you guys. But it's a rip, dip. But here's what happens when you dip, when you have that ego death, when you die, you're only dying so that you can be resurrected. One step closer to God, i.e. have the drip. Because when you're there, because then you're getting resurrected up, filled with source, filled with love and kindness energy, filled with Tao. And that it drips off you, and that is the drip. When the Tao's dripping off you, that's the Tao. You're in the moment, you're flow state. This is the Western man calls it a flow state. The great white gurus are teaching it. The great white gurus are teaching it. Dylan K. Henley, $2. Words of wisdom for this fine community. You have to make money. My friend sent that to me. Is that, how do you guys feel? How do y'all feel about that? There's also this one. No, didn't install it.
Not a mercy.
All right, that's another God-based one.
Praise God.
Sorry, that was too loud, wasn't it? That was way too loud. Let's try it again.
Praise God.
My bad. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna put it right down. Guys and gals, I'm sorry. So sorry, let me read that again. Words of wisdom for this fine community, $2, Dylan K. Henley.
Praise God.
Praise God. Praise God. Sorry, that's, if I hear something I don't like, I do have this. It's the worst toilet. Like, you know, I went through like probably like 7 or 8 toilet flushing sounds. And honestly, if they're too clean or if they're using the jet, it's like, it's not really coming across. It's not oh, you should add a soundbite of you saying filthy sinner. He's nothing but a filthy sinner. That's a good suggestion. Okay, there's no place to write it down, but you're here. You know what I'm saying? You send me stuff. I'm going to play these two together. So again, Dylan K. Henley, $2, words of wisdom for this fine community. Praise God. Praise him. How's the sound on all that? Is that too loud for anyone? Is that hurting anyone's ears? Let me know in the comment section. Let's see, what else do we got? We have one here. I'm not sure what it is. What are you? Oh, there's nothing there. Okay, great. But I do like this.
I'm glad you've come. Now you are going to die.
Hey! Hey! That's clean, right? The ego's going to die, though. It's the ego that has to die. And that's actually, you know, that's what we're here to do, apparently. Apparently, we're here to have ego deaths. And that really is the joy of life. Hold on, let me switch it right back to and by the way, let me give everyone a quick shout out, and then I'm going to switch it back because we want to start our first topic right away. I was blessed this week. I was blessed by Mr. Joel Osteen. I haven't seen Joel Osteen in such a long time. I was blessed, and I want to play quick clip for y'all because honestly, the guy, his work is incredible. And I think it's a good way to start things off. But Samantha Kadiala. Now here's the issue. It's a little small on my screen. I'm not going to lie. Oh, there we go. Samantha Kadiala. Sumant Kadiala. Wow. Sumant Kadiala. Bless me, Babaji. You're blessed. May you have 500 children. Jordan Payne, levels are good. Dylan K. Henley, clean. Urena Bruce, sounds good. Yahuvi, that sounds like an old Soviet toilet. Yahuvi, honestly, good timing on that Soviet joke. We need that right now. The culture needs it. For what they're doing, we need as many Soviet jokes as possible. Yeah, this is a filthy ass Soviet toilet. Look at this, what I have to think about. To Putin! Get rid of him! I said, get rid of him! It's a little loud, isn't it? I'm going to go down a bit. So how about that? How about it's almost like you need little games. Like someone gives money, you do one thing. Oh, this is another money one. What do you mean it's not in there? Well, we'll have to get it next time.
Lot of mercy.
We have a lot of mercy. A lot of mercy. And then, of course, we have. But I got great lessons coming. Sumant Kadiala, thank you, boss man. Yes, of course, Yahuvi, Sumant, Jordan Payne, RP, MX Luke, Achilles is here. Urena Brew, always supporting the community. Thank you so much, Habibi. Many are here. Hold on. There's a way for me to scroll back on these. There's a way for me to scroll back. I got to do this. Oh, here we go. Oh, wow. Full control. Dylan K. Henley, you are loved, brother. Zorro is here. Zorro, thanks for coming, baby. Zorro's like such a regular. Oh, Lord. Jordan Payne. And Zorro is one of our. Look at that wrench, baby. That wrench looks good on you. Crypto Rich, Smooth Operator, Yahuvi, Dylan K. Handley, Alarich Herzner, Jake Gabru, Crypto Rich. Did I say Crypto Rich? Matt Jangia, Smooth Operator, Planet G, so many, Hunterberg, 30 millibytes per second internet. I know, right? Listen, it's Canada. This is what they got. This is what they got. But thanks everyone for coming. You are loved. You are appreciated. And I want to start this. We are switching to a morning show, by the way. And look, I know a lot of people in the community are going to say, no, Amish, don't talk about God. I know the white man's thinking, no, Amish, don't talk about God. They don't want it. They want it to always be about materialism. But, Babaji's going to do what Babaji's going to do. Babaji's going to do what Babaji's going to do. Oh, that's right. We're going to have a little guest lecture by none other than Mr. Joel Osteen. And I know a lot of the white people in the community are going to say, no, Amish, no, don't play him. He's a sinner. Have respect. You're not even saying he's a sinner. They just don't, the West has just completely lost faith in God. But this man could bring, I think incredible. And let's listen to a bit of it and really get a sense of like this extreme. This is one of my favorite sermons from all Babajis. From India, Hindu, Buddhist, Great White Babaji too. Don't say no, Alan Watts. Okay, Alan Watts is good. I know how the Westerner thinks because Alan Watts. But you know what? Everyone hates on their own community, right? Like Alan Watts, white people love Alan Watts because Alan Watts is talking about Hinduism. Joel Osteen talks about Christianity, and white people go, I don't like it. I don't want to hear it. Well, have respect, okay? And tell me if you can see the screen, actually. Can y'all see the screen? Just let me know in the comments real quick. Y'all see a full page? Did y'all see Alex Winters is talking? Oh, no, Amish got a soundboard. Yeah, Planet G. Austin is too clean. For me at 4:15 p.m. Perfect time for wisdom. Ellerich Herzner, thank you very much. Probably from Germany or something. Schwa, save the audience rating. Schwa, hashtag save the audience rating. Yeah, we're going to have a Wyatt on soon. He was our old editor, and maybe he's going to be our editor again. But I just got to show him the numbers, and we're gonna look at some analytics today. It's going to be very interesting. We're going to go under the hood of the YouTube channel. We're going to go under the hood. But first, I do want to play this clip from Mr. Joel Osteen. And just tell me if you can't see it, okay? Just let me know if you can't see it. Hold up. I'm not going to go large screen because it's making it look like large screen is not coming through. So I'm just going to leave it here. And God is great. That's what we need.
My same faith. You're a Methodist, you're a Catholic, you're a Pentecostal. People ask me, Joel, what are you? We're just a group of believers that are excited about serving God.
Woo! That's it. No boundaries, no borders between the communities. Let's keep it going. Oh, no, you can't do this. What? What? Excuse me? One of the best sermons you'll ever hear. Honestly, go back, listen to the whole thing. Like, do your karmas, do your homework.
Just like us.
Let's see if we can find the spot.
People that look like on people of other faith, thinking, well, they don't believe in Jesus like I do. But it doesn't say to love them as long as they believe like us. We're supposed to love people unconditionally.
Woo!
We should never look down on someone. What a shame to treat
Praise
another
God.
one of God's creation.
Praise him.
With less love and less
That's way too loud, isn't it? I'm going to fix that.
respect just because they don't agree with us. We have to realize when we get to heaven, there's not going to be a Baptist section, a Methodist section, a Catholic section. We'll put the Pentecostals way over there. They're so loud.
Ah, you see that?
We'll all be up there together. It's going to look just like.
Still got jokes, though. Still got jokes. Why can't he have the respect of the community? Why can't the white men respect him? You listen to Alan Watts. You listen to Baba Ram Das. But when they talk about Jesus, the white man doesn't like it. God knows the white man doesn't like it because they have committed themselves to atheism. That's the issue. That's the issue. And Hindus have found it, and the Buddhists too have found a nice loophole in through meditation. They found a loophole in. And if you look at Buddhist teachings, it's pretty secular actually. But Hinduism, come on. I'm born and raised. You can't say Christianity crazy, but I like Hindu teaching. Like come on, it's a wash at that point. You know what they call it? I think in business, they call it like a lateral move or like right? What are you doing? It's like, I remember this girl in stand-up. Oh, I think it was someone asked about her last week. It was that girl. Oh my God, she did the Dear Fat People video. Okay, so apparently she's auditioning for Yuck Yucks. Yuck Yucks in Toronto. It's a comedy club. They pay, I don't know, $7,000 a year, and they don't want you to go with any other clubs. It's crazy. There's only so much they can do. They have like 3 clubs. It's a grind. The guy's like 90. It was a banger in the heyday, but it's hard to keep these businesses alive. The internet's changed things, whatever. So I'm not talking shit, whatever. But anyway, the guy's like 70 years old or whatever it is. And he's doing these showcases for stand-up comedians to get on the Yuck Yucks roster, right? He's doing these like showcases. So, another comic, great dude too. I can't remember his name now. Damn it. Ryan Horwood. But maybe I shouldn't say his name. But anyway, so Ryan's telling me this story where they were all doing showcases, and then and in between all the real comics, as he put it, there was this girl who did Dear Fat People video. What's her name? Someone in the comments already knows who I'm talking about. What's the girl's name who did Dear Fat People? This is going to totally make sense. Don't say tangent. Don't say tangent in the comments. This is totally going to tie in here. What was her name again? Her name was Digital Marketing Humans is here. What's up? Planet G is here. Does anyone know? Planet G says God is great. Yep, correct. Jay Gabru. After Joel didn't. Okay, we'll talk about that. Jay already coming in. You always have to look for something, huh, Jay? You always got to look for something. Some negativity of his. Just listen to the sermon. Anyway, the same girl who did Nicole Arbor. Okay, so Nicole Arbor is auditioning with all these, like, I don't know. It's always like Yuck Yucks is silly too. Like, they'll audition everyone. They'll audition anyone, and then they'll leave out like always 2 or 3 banger comics because they'll just decide some weird shit. Like, well, we're not. Like, I think my friend auditioned for them, and like she's like slightly, like, she's not so PC, but she's like maybe she did a feminist joke, and Breslin goes, "You're doing coffee shop humor, sweetie cheeks. Hey, sweet tits, that's coffee shop humor. We don't need that at Yuck Yuck." Like he's like that. He's like 90, whatever. So anyway, these guys are all auditioning to be on Yuck Yucks. It pays $7,000. It pays nothing. But God bless them. It's a great club. They're also very shisty in the organization. But anyway, they're all going on. Nicole Arbor goes on. So like 2 or 3 real comics go up. Then Nicole Arbor goes on. Then Ryan's telling me that as they bring up the next like real comic, Nicole Arbor walks off stage, walks back to the owner of the club, who's 90, and just starts making out with him. I swear to God. This is how they're choosing comedians at Yuck Yucks. This is what Ryan told me. Honestly, he'll probably come on the show and talk about it. What a silly story. Honestly, that rip could go viral, right? Just because it has Nicole Arbor in it. We'll cut it. Anyway, or we'll do it again tomorrow. I'll ask him to come on the show. He'll probably do it. So many people are mad at Yuck Yucks, man, because they're just so shisty and they rip people off. And by the time I came up, I signed with an agent. My agent's like, yeah, I don't know, you can go to Yucks if you want. Like, my agent was never like, you got to go to Yucks. Like, he was always like, that's an organization you can join, and that's one way to do it. But there's 2 or 3 options. And if they don't, the agents are always just being supportive, and salespeople. So they're just going to be positive all around. Like, my agent was good to like not talk shit about Yuck Yucks, but also tell me that like, that's a good option. But there's also Absolute Comedy. There's also this place. There's this place. And independently, you can also create the gigs. So, do where you feel most creative and most at home and did whatever. So anyway, Nicole. So yeah, all these comics go on. And this is years before I started even. And then Ryan's telling me they come off stage. Nicole Arbor does her set. He's saying it's awful. But then she just walks off stage and just struts over and starts making out with Mark Breslin. By the way, if this is not true, I am so sorry, Nicole Arbor. This is very rude what I'm saying, actually. But this is what Ryan was there, and he said that he saw this with his eyes. That she comes over and starts making out with him. There's like 8 more comics left to go. They test out like 50 people, right? Hold on, let me say that part again. She walks over and starts making out with Breslin. Allegedly, this is what Ryan told me. Ryan, you can come on. Mark Breslin, I would love to have you on, actually. Mark Breslin would be actually a great person to have on. Such a legend in Toronto in other ways, I guess. You know, as the guy who made that comedy club. So, you know, but yeah, I've just heard so many nightmares from them. I remember another friend of mine was telling me that that she got a court. She's like 55 years old, I think. She has 3 kids. She's like a professional. She got a corporate gig, but she had just signed with Yuck Yucks at that point. She had switched from some other club to them. So then she told the corporate gig, like, yeah, can you just call Yucks because they have like a legal department, and then they'll just do the contract, whatever. So the corporate calls Yucks, and the guy at Yucks goes, hey, why don't you hire another comic? And then he gives his own name because the money was so good. He tried to steal the client off of her. Anyway, listen, that's what you get. The point that I'm making here, though, this is all related to the Joel Osteen clip. The point that I'm making here is that, like, Nicole Arbour, if this is true, and allegedly, if it's true, Nicole Arbour, you don't need to make out with Breslin. Like, I mean, he's not going to get you into Hollywood or something. Like, they have literally $7,000 worth of gigs in a year, and they don't want you to work with anyone else. And they're trying to jack your corporates. So the idea that you need to come off stage and start making out with him,
Lot of mercy.
that makes me say a lot of mercy. Makes me say a lot of mercy. Where's God in all this? And I think it's a parallel move. Anyway, relating it back to Mr. Joel Osteen, I feel like the white Western culture discriminates against him because they'll hear an Alan Watts speech and they'll say, oh, it's beautiful. It's so nice. Oh, that Alan Watts, his words are like nectar. Then you play a little Joel Osteen and say, oh, that's the devil. I can't hear that. Excuse me? Let's have respect and let's be even-handed. But you're making a parallel move here. You know, you're at 5,000 subscribers on YouTube or whatever she was at the time, linking it back so that nobody says Amish went on a tangent. You know, she has maybe, 200,000 subs at the time. Her YouTube was looking good, he said. He said the YouTube was good at the time. It wasn't even like pre-YouTube day. Like, the YouTube's good. You don't need to make out with this 70-year-old man to get on Yucks. What are you thinking? If it's a true story, it's all alleged. And I would love it if everyone called me and talked about it. There's lots to talk about. But anyway, let's continue
like
this.
Lakewood, all people, all races, all walks of life.
Is that volume too high? I'm sorry, babies. Let me turn that down. Well, I'm turning mine down, but I don't know if that affects you guys. This volume is way down.
There's going to be Democrats and Republicans.
Woo!
Tattoos, no tattoos.
God is great.
Bling and no bling. Denim and cotton. Long hair and beautiful hair.
Still putting in the jokes. You see that? He still puts in the jokes. Still puts in the jokes.
Get outside of your normal box. Be open to people that are not just like you. A while back, we had a significant amount of funds that we were going to give to organizations that were helping people affected by Hurricane Katrina. This is a God is great anecdote. Honestly, it's such a tight service. I should really look at this. I bet if I took this service and I called it a loving kindness service, I'd have lineups of white people. If I literally changed the branding on it. If I took this service, I swear to God, I should do this as an experiment. I just take this exact service, do it. I'm actually doing a meditation, unpaid because I'm not legally allowed to work in the US, but I'm doing a meditation service at Podfest this year. So if you're in Florida, I'm doing Podfest. And I think it would be so funny if I just did this same service and you'll see all these white people who said, oh, that Joel Osteen, he's a sinner. They'll come following me. They'll join my flock right away, isn't it? And our staff
mixing up the. I shouldn't have said in it on the end of that. Even as I was saying it, I was like, no, that's British. Okay, just let's keep going.
recommendations, and I knew most of the people on the list, or at least I knew of them. But there's this one man on the list that I knew had been critical toward us.
Uh-oh.
And when I saw his name, I had to think long and hard. Do we want to give him a large donation, knowing that he's out there knocking us? My first thought was absolutely not. I'm nice, but not that nice. But after I thought about it and prayed
Lord have
about
mercy.
it, I thought, you know what? I'm going to be bigger than this. I'm going to widen my circle of love.
Woo!
He drew a circle and shut me out. I'm going to draw a bigger circle and shut him in.
God is great. He's got the lines, man. He's got jokes. He's got lines. Jacob Rue left a message 2 minutes ago. Dory, I'm not going to ignore. Listen, I'm not the kind of guy who's going to sit here and ignore the scandals. And we got Wyatt waiting for the Zoom link. Sorry, baby. Here you go. I wonder if he's even here. But Wyatt's going to be joining us today. In a minute. He was editing our videos before Steven left, before our numbers started tanking back in December. No, listen, we're at a critical point. The digital ashram is at a critical moment here, but let's keep this going.
I thought, he doesn't even really know me, because if he did, he'd like me. At least that's what I thought.
This is where I wanted to play
Her
from.
last leg. She may be thinking, let me go to church one more time to see if I can get my life straightened out.
Oh, see, he always has a good story like this too. Inspirational, motivational. Someone down on their luck, and they say, let me try it. Let me test out the church one more time.
What a shame if we would be so full of pride or so judgmental that she felt unwelcome. Why don't you give her the benefit of the doubt, thinking maybe she wasn't raised like I was?
Compassion, loving kindness, straight from the Buddha. That's the thing. That's why you could just literally turn it into Buddha, loving kindness practice. It's the same. It's like all loving kindness mentality, compassion, forgiveness. And, in general, just looking at everyone like a child of God. Ed Lachinsky says, what's up with the NFT title? Oh, we're going to talk about that in a second. Ed on it, eh?
Maybe she didn't get the breaks that I got.
Ed Lachinsky's in the comments. He's calling in from Ukraine. Ed, I just want to start the show with a positive message of love.
Maybe she's doing the best she can with what she's got. Let's have a wide circle of love.
Yes.
That's what I love. That's what I love about you guys. You make everyone feel welcome. Rich, black, white, people that have it together.
This is
and
it.
People that are trying to get it together.
This is it.
The scripture talks about the same amount of mercy we show to other people. That's the amount of mercy God will show back to us.
See, if Buddha says it's like self-forgiveness, if you forgive, you'll forgive yourself, basically. No, this is very powerful. It's extremely powerful
I
teaching.
believe we can even store up mercy for our children. I may not agree with them, but that's not going to keep me from being good to them. It's not going to keep me from showing God's kindness. I know I get letters all the time from atheists.
This is what I wanted to
They say,
play.
"Joel, we love watching your program."
The same atheist, and how the atheist community attacks him. The atheist community attacks him, but occasionally he'll get one. You know what I'm saying? He gets the atheist. They send a letter.
I think that's great. Doesn't bother me a bit. I don't judge them. If they don't believe like me, that doesn't mean they're a bad person. We have to understand it's not our job to convert everyone. It's our job to simply present the truth. The Holy Spirit is the only one that can convict people.
God is great. God is great.
Sometimes we think we have to make people believe, but
Lord have
only
mercy.
God can do that. Jesus said the way people will know we're his disciples is by our love for one another. But today there are so many walls up. You're not from my group. You're not from my same faith. You're a Methodist. You're a Catholic. You're a Pentecostal. People.
Jay Gabru, I'm reading your comments. Jay Gabru, I'm reading your comments. We will get to your criticisms in just one moment, but let's hear this message of love and togetherness first.
People ask me, Joel, what are you? We're just a group of believers that are excited about serving God.
Woo!
I don't want any labels on me.
That's great.
They said, well, are you an evangelical? I don't even know what evangelical means. All I know is this. I believe in Jesus. I believe in sharing my faith, and I love everyone.
That's it.
Well, Joel, what about
This is where he goes
What
through the
about
list.
the Muslims? I love them too. They are God's creation.
A little quiet on that. Crowd is a little quiet on that.
What about the Hindus? They are God's creation. What about the Buddhists? Joel, you don't want them in here, do you? Sure I do. I've got a wide circle of love. I know our God, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac.
I think that was supposed to be a joke. Like, what about the Buddhists? You don't want them in here. Listen, the teaching, it is from Buddhism.
The God of Jacob. He loves the Muslims as much as he loves the Christians.
Woo!
He loves the Buddhists, the Hindus, the atheists, all the same. If God...
What's up, Wyatt? How's it going?
What's up, man?
Yo, can we turn your volume down a bit? Hold on a second. I can do it on my.
Can you hear me okay?
It's like it's coming in hot for me. It's coming in a little loud, brother. But yeah, let me just show my real quick. I gotta show. Watch this. Ba-bam. Comment cam, baby. Comment cam. I can't believe I was I was
Okay,
gonna
you, bro.
Yeah. Your audio's a little peaking. Here, you want me to just adjust it from my side? Audio.
Yeah,
settings.
I think it's on your side.
Speaker. No. How do you turn down someone's specific volume? Weird. No, I go here. I go here. Make host, remove host. Yeah, just say something. Say like a testing or something.
Wyatt, why your name sound like, what does that say?
Wyatt.
What kind of comment is that?
It's all comments are righteous, brother. All comments are righteous. Jay Gabru, though.
What did you say?
How's that? Let us know if that sound is okay, though. It sound coming out fine for me. Damn. You know what? Maybe I just gotta lower my volume. That's it. Okay, cool. But actually, I have a couple of comments from that Joel Osteen clip because I was saying to them, you know, the people in the West, they don't want to hear Joel Osteen, and I don't know why. But Jay Gabru has a couple of things. Jay Gabru says, my bad, Amish. I'm not trying to spread hate, but I question evangelists like Joel and Kenneth Copeland, LOL. And I'm a Christian myself as well. Sick, Jay. Thank you so much. But Jay had a real thing. Jay had a real. Nothing is wrong with the message he sends. He's spreading Christianity, but his actions speak louder than words. Oh! Calling Joel Osteen a sinner.
What's the message, if you could summarize it for
The
me?
which one?
Like, what's the message? What was he saying?
I'll tell you. I think Jay Gabru said this, and I think Sean or someone else said this too before. But basically, they were saying that there was a hurricane in Houston, and he didn't let people into the church.
That's the main gripe people have with him, right?
Honestly, it's nothing. Like, let's have a little evenness here. This is a little bit like people canceling Aziz Ansari because of that whole shit. It's like, okay, Aziz Ansari is here, and then Weinstein's here. Why are we putting them all in the same group? Al Franken too at the time. They were just like, cancel him because he took a pic. It's like, no, Weinstein, like we need some hierarchy here, even in this leftist movement.
For people that don't know, explain like the Joel Osteen thing with the hurricane, and
so I'll
he had access, and he was, you can go ahead.
I'll tell you guys, like, Joel Osteen, this whole like didn't let people in during the hurricane, like that is such a complex issue. But the reason I bring it up is because I love the teachings, and I feel like a lot of people in the West, they'll listen to Alan Watts, they'll listen to Baba Ramdas teaching Hinduism, but when this man teaches Christianity so tight, people say, no, I don't want to hear it. And then they'll take this one little thing, like during a hurricane. Yeah, I guess he didn't let people into the church during a hurricane. And his church is, I'm pretty sure, the Houston Rockets' old basketball stadium. It seats 40,000. So I understand the concern.
So he had access to the church and was, inside of it? Or he had access to it and people were like, why aren't you letting people in? And he just said no.
It's not even that he has access, dude. It's his like other house. I mean, the guy has 5 Corvettes. Not Corvettes. He has like 5 sports cars. Like,
how crazy is it that he has that much money from like religion speaking? Like,
I mean, if you hear the words, you're gonna be like, give him more money, God. That's how beautiful the words are.
Joel Osteen's a really good speaker.
He's such a tight speaker, dude. The jokes are good. The message is always good. Like, he won't. Even I remember he was on some show and they were trying to catch him on like, oh, but you think being gay is wrong. And he's like, I can't comment. Well, yes, the Bible says it's a sin. Homosexuality is a sin. But the Bible also says that getting angry is a sin. And God knows I get angry. What a good got out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree. And I feel like Joel Osteen, like, like my dad, for example, is like atheist, like agnostic, like he just doesn't really pay much mind to it, but he'll send me like a Joel Osteen video every now and then and be like, dude, you gotta listen to this. Like it's not even like you know what I mean?
He says
Like,
don't
I feel
listen
like
to it.
people outside of that basket can listen to him. I don't know.
Yeah, but he says don't listen to it.
No, he said no, he's like he likes Joel Osteen.
That's great. That's great. My dad used to listen to it too. My dad loved it. Hindu.
Yeah.
Still, you know what I mean? It's like when it's tight, it's tight. And I feel like a lot of people are leaving him out.
But like, what videos are our dads not sending us? Like, my dad sends me like it just videos from all over the place.
Occasionally, my dad will send me a video. Like, just occasionally, he like it's not even really him. Like, some other uncle will get him on some video that's going to be like, that's basically like the Muslims are taking our women. Like I'll get a video like that, like the Muslims are taking our women and we got to do something. And it's always like it's like those Christian like right-wing videos too. The Hindus have it, same culture. Yeah,
when he sends you a video, does he just drop the link to you, or does he drop the link and say like gotta listen, or like does he like add a message to it, or does he just drop the link to you?
So when he sends me, I have to go. He was so old. He passed away 2 years ago, but he was so old that he didn't know how to work shit. And in the old age, you know, they get like these Hindu nationalists. They get a lot of old people too. They get a lot of like, come on, we got to bring back the glory of the Hindu, and you have to support, sir. And you know, like I'd have to go back and be like, this is bullshit. What are you doing? And then he's always like, yeah, you're right. What am I doing? Because he is liberal ultimately. Like he never cared about any of that shit. But just in the you start losing your marbles, dude. I mean, what are you gonna do? And some of them are just good salespeople. Like, I mean, sometimes I'll watch like a Muslims are taking Europe video and I'll get caught up. I have to call someone from Europe to be like, hey, how is it? And they're like, it's not like that. Nobody cares.
Yeah. My dad sent me a Joe Rogan like YouTube. My dad sends me Joe Rogan stuff all the time, but it was like a YouTube short, and it was I think Joe Rogan was like, it was something. It was like a more right wing kind of like how like it doesn't make sense with like how the voter ID is racist, but the vaccine passport is not like that. It was that kind of short, but it was just like my dad sends me stuff like that. But I just think it's hilarious. Like dads watching YouTube shorts for some reason is like funny to me.
It is so silly, and I do love those arguments when they come out. Like there's so many people that have these arguments that are like, well, if that's racist, now the vaccine passport's racist. So it's like, I'm not doubting it. You know what I mean? Like I have friends that are into those theories, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doubting it. I mean, it's complicated. It's like the truckers, right? Like I'm just like, it's wrong. Is it Nazis? I don't think it's Nazis.
Wait, what's your take on the truckers?
The truckers actually is really sad because they came in like so first of all, one of their demands was disband the government. So they came in hot. Let's be honest. They came in hot, but ultimately they wanted to like relieve all mask mandates, and they felt like mask mandates were unfair, whatever. I think it was mostly just mask mandates, but it was like, as much as they were logistically tight, like they had good organization on the ground, they were like physically whatever, but their argument was never really that good if you stop and read it. It's really just an emotional argument.
Didn't it have like something to do with? It had something to do with forced vaccination to keep your job, right?
It was like forced vaccination to keep your job. Here's the problem, though, is that it's what America was doing anyway, and like 85% of truckers already got theirs, and they didn't care. So they were I think most truckers were mad at them for doing it. They had a tiny percent of the population, but at the end of the day, like, look, I support workers' rights. I'm very supportive of like, do your protest. It's peaceful, and I think Trudeau took this step too far when he basically made I'll share the picture with you. Actually, he basically made he passed the emergency, like I think it's like the Emergency Measures Act, and then people started calling him Trudolf Hitler. Which, listen, here's the crazy thing about this is that they opened the protest saying like mask mandates, vaccine at work is basically Nazism. They opened with that. I was always like, okay, come on, just relax. But then Trudeau, like, they won't concede that they gave into the truckers at all. I honestly believe that Canada's open now, partly because of the truckers, because the provinces were like, it's too much. Like We can't argue with these people. Like they're wild. They're here. They block traffic, dude. They blocked a border. It costs like $5 million a day or something crazy like that of trade. Like they were blocking the economy. And there's truck drivers on the other side. Like, it's not for me. I can't work. I'm not gonna be able to work. It was like a week and a half of that. So they passed the emergency. Like even Joe Biden apparently had to call and be like, listen, man, our automotive industry is like relying on shit from you. So you need to just fix it, dude. So and then of course Trudeau goes Trudolph with the Emergency Measures Act. He didn't need to pass the emergencies. He didn't have to pass the Emergency Measures Act.
Trudolph.
I know, I love that, eh? Trudolph.
That's funny.
But you know where they lose credibility for me is that the whole time they were doing Trudeau. Have you seen this meme? This meme is great, I thought. I thought this was a very well done meme. This one, this Trudeau is Castro's kid. I don't know if you can see this, but the similarities are amazing.
Is it? Click on one of them.
Oh yeah, you can see it, right? Let's see. Well, there's this one. Look at that.
Wow.
I mean, that's not bad. I love like the most staunch, like just like the truckers are crazy. They're so stupid. Dude, they see the picture, they go, wow, okay, well, they got something here.
Dude, do you think there's people that like are just sitting around like trying to figure out like, because I feel like there's all these like resemblance like kind of memes, like you had like the Ted Cruz with like the shooter. I feel like there's people who just spend most of their time like trying to figure out what this person looks like for the sake of the meme. You know what I mean?
For the sake of a meme, but this was a good get. This got a little virality out of it just because it was like so timely and they were trying to say that he was a communist anyway. But honestly, you know what they do here? They take a slightly similar picture, then they adjust his face a bit, then they adjust his face a bit. By the time you're done, it's like, holy shit, it's the same person. You think that picture right there is Photoshop? I don't think that picture right there is Photoshop, but I think there's like people look different in different situations, different lighting, different angle, and like some people like look kind of alike. But if you get the right picture, they look like they're related. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what? It's just like God writes the best jokes. God's doing Photoshops too. People will look different, dude. Like I'm like a 7 in the daylight, and then if I go to a club, I'm like a 4. It's like the lighting fucks you up, dude. I can't handle that. And I think I'm done with nightclubs this week. So wait, you're saying the dark light hurts the looks? It hurts the looks, dude. Even when I'm on set, if I'm acting in a TV show, it's like you need 2 extra lights if you're brown or black. It's honestly, I remember this black dude that I was friends with him before. Like I think he quit now, but he won some like Much Music Be the Next VJ contest. And even though he won, you know those contests, like they'll do a contest, but then after they're like, sorry, we miscounted and we were just going to switch it to this other person. They switched it. And one of the lighting people told him that it's like, you're so dark because you're so dark. Like it was impossible. Like we're doing live television. They're like, it's live television. We got a white girl and a white girl and a white guy. And then this dark, like it was like so much to figure out the new lighting. It's like, it's low budget. They don't have money over there. Like, it was a show? Yeah, it was like Much Music, Next VJ content. And say it again. They switched the what? They basically made like he won this contest or whatever. They made a reality show. He won the contest, and it was like partially judges and partially like voting or whatever. But he was like overwhelmingly winning the whole way. Right. But in the end, they just picked like some white girl, and then someone behind the scenes. So it's all gossip. Who knows? Some lighting guy, and I've worked on shows where they're like even when I was working on my on this kids TV show, you need so much light, dude, as a brown or black person. If everyone's white, because everything adjusts to them, and then you got to come in with extra lights, and then you can't just blow them out. You got to like have their correct lighting so that everyone looks equals. You know what I mean? So this guy was killing it, winning, and then like somebody behind the scenes was like, the lighting just doesn't look right. This guy, he can't win. They're basically like, if we hire him as our regular VJ, we're going to have like a lighting setup following this guy around all the time. I know, it's like the money. It's like we don't have an extra lighting guy to just follow this guy around all the time. It's a little easier if you're pre-shooting, but when you're live, it's like cameras still kind of do it. It's like adjusting now. Like we're getting better and better at it. I feel like cameras are getting better at just knowing and adjusting whatever. But I'd say like up until this new digital revolution of cameras and technology, it was a real casting decision where people were like, can we like, it's just a lot of work to just light this person. Even our lighting guy. So the lighting guy, I was on this kid's TV show and the lighting guy was like very right-wing, outspoken about right-wing shit. So I remember at one point they made t-shirts that said, every T-Rex is a female, or like T-Rexes are women too, some positive thing, right? And it was just like some positive thing for women's right, like something. They just made a t-shirt that everyone wore. Him and his film crew came in with a separate t-shirt that said, boy T-Rexes are good too. And it was a T-Rex doing a pull-up. That's the kind of guy he was. He's like an Eastern European guy. And I remember like he would just make comments to me. He would just like I was like the kind of guy that would be like F you to the guy. So like we would joke about it, but he would just go like, okay, get 5 more light for him. And he needs 5 more light. Okay, this you're not going to, and like sometimes the directors like they're trying to get all their shots in a day, and this guy will be like, listen, when after we finish lighting this one, then we can tell you what is schedule. I don't know. Like he's just like it's extra. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's getting easier and better now, though.
Yeah, you gotta love when people are so like entrenched in that like kind of like tribal type like gotcha. Like we gotta get like a gotcha for the other side. Like if they're wearing like t-shirts, it's like gotta get with my boys. What's our response? Like, but those other people are like they're not expecting you to wear like a different shirt. But like in this guy's head, he's like, man, I gotta get with my friends. Man, what's our comeback for this?
I know, he's just like, yo.
It's never that deep. It's never that deep.
It's never that deep. Don't worry about it.
The same thing I feel like with the Batman reviews. It's like I'm like there's all these like a lot of the conservative outlets are like saying how like the Batman is like so woke. It's like everybody's complaining that it's woke. And when I'm watching the movie, I'm like, and I'm not like I'm more like kind of like I would say like just like sin or whatever, but there was nothing like woke really about the movie. There was one line where Catwoman said something about like white privilege, like all these people are getting killed are like just white privilege. And when she said that, in my mind, I was like, okay, that kind of stretched outside the movie a little bit and was a little, but outside of that line, nothing. Like there was. I didn't notice anything like that, and I'll notice if something's like kind of trying to be woke or whatever. But there was
like something a black girl would say. Like if you know, like black and brown girls, like they're on the they're looking, dude. So many are just like that's racist. That's even if I go to a party with a white girl and it's all brown and black girls, like 2 out of 10 are gonna talk some shit. Like. Some shit. Like 1 out of 10 is gonna talk some shit. Like fuck this white girl. Like stuff like that. Like my boy boss took his girlfriend to some like stand-up comedy event, and like it was a range, but at the end of the range was like fuck this white girl. Why you bring this white girl here? You're like they're just mad. It's like hey, easy. Easy. I've seen it even on the subway. Like they'll just chase a girl. One time I was on a stand-up comedy show. There's 2 girls on the show who were doing improv. And then I was backstage. I didn't know, but they were like ripping the girl that I was dating at the time. They're like, "Oh, you think you're so pretty? You think you're so cute? You're taking our man." Like but I was like, "Yeah, that's hilarious." And my girl at the time was like, "No, they were just like being mean. It wasn't even funny. It was like it wasn't getting. I was like, that must have been getting laughs, like rippers." And she was like, "No, it wasn't even. It was just like awkward because everyone's like, you're just being mean."
Yeah, right.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, I could see her saying it. I feel like the publicity is so tight with them too. They're doing that whole like, are they dating? Are they dating in real life?
Who? Robert Pattinson and
yeah.
I don't think so. I haven't seen anything on it.
Okay, cool. Because it's just I see all these shorts and it's always like it'll be like Zoe Kravitz left breathless by Robert Pattinson, and it's like it's so dumb. It's just like them flirting on TV all the time. It's so unhealthy. Like, why are you doing this? They're like 25 years old. You're pushing them to be in love with each other for stupid publicity shit. I feel like that's stupid.
It's just so like, I mean, I guess it's kind of like toxic, but like if you ever go on when I'm on Snapchat and I'm seeing like those headlines to me are the worst. Where it's like if you swipe right on Snapchat and you like look at the headlines for each one of those videos, those headlines are just so like they're so clickbaity, but they're like it'll say something like Robert Pattinson left Zoe Kravitz for this girl, but like they're not even together.
They're not
never
even
left
together.
anybody, and it's like why? And then like I'll click on it because I'm like interested in it, and then, like it'll turn out to be nothing. I'm like, what? Like, what am I doing with my time? And like, why are these people like even? It's, you know what I mean? It's just so like nonsense. It's like so unnecessary.
It's so lot of mercy, dude. It's so.
But they
like,
do that with every couple.
You can't even control the media because the media is us in a lot of ways. Like it's like TikTok's doing it, but also like just what we call like liberal media or whatever. It's just people so desperate to get hits that their brain is.
I think that's a lot of it. That's a lot of it, because when you're, and I noticed this, I wouldn't say I would agree with you until I started like posting clips for this channel.
Yeah.
But because it changes the way your mind works, like your brain works when you're posting, and you're like the title matters and the thumbnail matters, and you can't really be like dull or whatever. So you're kind of like thinking like, if I put this, will this get more clicks? But you're really not. It's hard to take into account like multiple things at once. Like, will this get better clicks? But also, is this like biased? It's like it's really hard to focus on those multiple.
Remember for a while,
Steve
was telling us like, listen, I don't want any trouble, because you know what happened one time with the Indian editors that came before you. They had I think we talked about Bill Cosby, and it's the guy's from India. He doesn't know, so he just put like me and Steven and a picture of Cosby, and it was like, he should be free, like something stupid. And Steven had to be like, no.
I think Steven said one of the titles was like Fauci going to jail ?
He hates that. He would hate anyone who has like any like he had very strict morality on his thumbnails. He was a thumbnail title. He was like, it has to be pointing to the correctnness, and then within that you can make a joke or an off thing. But like, this is a clear violation to say this is who Patterson left habits for. It's like they're not together.
Yeah.
So step one is this is incorrect. This is an immorality. Yeah, no, that was good, man. That was actually good that he had that sense of morality. You know?
Yeah, it was. And like how I was saying, how it's hard, like it's easy for me to become like detached from like the bias and all that stuff when I'm just trying to get clicks. But imagine like I'm like in the United States, and all these headlines and stuff like are kind of like I'm familiar with because I'm like near them. But imagine how detached somebody is in like India, who's literally just like, he's getting paid and all he's doing is trying to get clicks, and he's probably doing like,
he doesn't know,
50 to 100 clips, and he doesn't even really know like the topic. So all he's thinking about is the clicks, you know?
Yeah, that's all he cares about. He's not thinking about anything else. I mean,
right.
And it's hard to, you almost can't tie their arms, like you can't stop them almost. It's got to be like a machine of content. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you stop to check that, it's like, oh, that's it. Jake Paul, Logan Paul, they're already on Stick Dick Coin or whatever the hell. Dude, they've made 6 NFTs, those two brothers. They're psychos, eh?
Dude,
I just saw the last video from Steven. Oh my God.
I haven't watched that one. I watched like the Lana Rhodes. I watched a little bit of that one. I haven't watched the Jake Paul stuff.
So the Jake Paul, he does mention Lana Rhodes. Lana Rhodes is basically like Lana Rhodes basically, like Jake Paul made a thing called Stick Dick Coin, Stick Dicks. Very silly. It's just like,
that was Logan
so cheap.
and Jake, I think.
Oh, they did it together because Logan, at least with Dink Doink, like they made a South Park-esque cartoon, and South Park's already.
I'm not
cartoon.
sure. I'm not that familiar with it.
Who knows? From the video, it looked like Jake, or is it Logan? It was like the younger. It was like more one that like looks like he's never gonna like really make it as a human being. You know what I mean? Like one of them looks like legit.
That's Jake. Yeah, Logan.
That's Jake.
Logan looks legit. Jake is like kind of like a couple like phone calls away from like being on the streets, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing with their success is so boosting and big, but then it is unstable. Like they are like weird unstable like that. But apparently Jake had a thing called, like, at least Logan, I think Logan's the more professional, I feel like, trying to be. I mean, he has a podcast, whatever, but he did the Dink Doink, and Dink Doink was like a bit of a sketch and a cartoon, but this guy just did Stick Dicks. It's like, dude, don't just live in your brother's shadow. Do something original. He made Stick Dicks, and then Lana Rhodes apparently tried to sell her fans on that. On like, hey, everyone buy Stick Dick Coin.
It doesn't even matter, like, it doesn't matter what they call it. It doesn't matter what the JPEGs are. Like,
Yeah,
they're gonna make money on it. They're gonna scam people. The fans are gonna buy it. It's like,
that's too bad.
you know what I mean?
You know,
It
we
is
were
too
working.
bad.
We were talking this week, and we have Roberto Blake's blessing on this. We do want to make for the channel a token brown guy token, and I think it could have a positive message. I don't think it has to be negative in a scam like that.
Oh,
but
what?
token brown guy token. Do you know what token brown guy is? It's like if you're watching a movie and there's like one brown dude, just
Wait,
like kind of, they throw in a
wait,
brown
you're
guy.
saying-
We could
wait,
also
you're
make
saying
token
we
black guy
make-
token.
We make
A
like an
drip
NFT?
official NFT token brown guy token. Have you seen this week's
Dude, we
thumbnail?
can't. You can't.
But here's the thing, you know, even when I was talking to Steve, I really do got to get Steven's blessing on this, because I was talking to him about, I've talked to him about this several times, and he's saying that these are good actual programs, like the NFT, like it makes sense. It's just that these guys are doing a pump and dump. But I feel like there is some way to do it without it being just a full scam pump and dump. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think there is probably some way, but I'm just too like,
Yeah,
I would be too worried.
probably safer
After
not to
seeing,
touch it.
like, after seeing Steven just like go after people's heads and just like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, destroy them. It's like I'm like scared to even like look up the word NFT. After
How
watching,
funny though.
After watching Steven's videos, like I don't even want to
I know.
get into. I don't even want to look up anything about cryptocurrency, NFT.
Right.
Even though I probably should.
You don't want to be in that circle of sinners. You're like, I don't want to associate with them even.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I remember he was telling me about it, and he was saying that like it's not all scams. They're just doing it like a scam. Like a
Right.
and I think a crypto and an NFT, the difference that I'm getting so far, but research continuing on this, everyone. Because if it can be done ethically, if we can ethically source this token, this NFT, then I mean, listen, we have to try all karmas, because Roberto was into it, and Roberto is a moral guy, and Roberto knows his shit technically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So maybe I
Yeah,
got to
and
message him about it.
He
But
probably knows way more about it than I do, and I'm definitely putting those two. Like I know the cryptocurrency and an NFT are completely different. I'm like kind of putting all that into a basket, and I just
actually,
don't.
I thought they were so different too. And then someone told me that an NFT is a non-fungible token, which is like, and that token side of it is maybe encrypted like a Bitcoin. Again, I'm figuring this out still. But basically, Bitcoins and the NFTs, the separation, I would say major separation is like one is supposed to be like a new currency. So the idea that these comedians are making a currency is ridiculous. Now, NFTs is supposed to be for artwork, I think. So it's supposed to be a way of like, as an artist. So I do think it's legitimate for us to make a token brown guy token. Of course, we will ethically source all of the work and all of this stuff, but I think it is ethically viable for us. And so I'm just looking into the ethics of it. But I think it could be very interesting for the show, because at the end of the day, it's like, you know, token brown guy token could be a very positive thing. It doesn't have to be so negative like that.
So
But,
why is
we'll
it
see.
called token brown guy token? Why not brown guy token?
Token brown
Why are
guy
there two
and
tokens?
token black guy. The reason why those terms, have you heard those terms before?
No.
So token black guy or token brown guy is like if you're in a movie and everyone's white, but they just need one black guy to come and make it okay. You know what I mean? Like that's a token black guy.
Oh.
So they just come in and say. So I've seen it a lot. My friend plays them in these Christmas movies, but you see token black guys in Christmas movies a lot.
It's
where
like we
they're-
but to throw one of them in there just to, you know what I mean?
Let's spice it up. Some guy says, "Hey, let's spice it up. Let's give this a little flavor."
But there's token, like, could there be like a token like white guy and like Black Panther? Like we throw one white guy in there, because I think there was
100%.
like one white guy in Black Panther. But
Dude,
so it could
Bollywood
be anything,
movies?
like token Indian guy, token white guy. So okay, I got it.
Yeah, it's like you throw in one person from the other culture to represent them or whatever. You know what I mean?
Got it. Yeah.
But no, Bollywood does it a lot. Bollywood will actually make their token white guys like the boss, and then they'll make their token black guys like just some guy that gets beat up on the way. Like they do token black, and then they'll have a token
Wow.
Asian guy, and token Asian guy will always be like a double cross. So it's like their stereotypes are just alive in there.
Yeah.
Like and the Asian guy
great.
always speaks like perfect Hindi, because there's a lot of Asians that like East Asian, you know, visually they look East Asian, but they speak perfect Hindi. They like live right on the border of India, right? So it's actually really good. I remember as a kid, me and my family were very impressed the first time we saw an Asian guy, and he would just start talking Hindi. We were just like, wow, this guy's
Really?
wild. Yeah.
So do you think that has anything to do with the relationship like between those countries? Like I think don't they
100%.
like India has beef with China, so like they're gonna make every Chinese guy like a spy.
100%, dude. They
That's
make every Chinese
so
guy.
funny.
Dude, China is attacking their border. Not only do they make every Chinese guy a spy, like if you're writing a sitcom in India and you just need a filler joke, I've seen like my parents watch these sitcoms, and I've seen sitcoms where like just for no reason, someone will come in with their like eyes taped back and just dong bang bang bang, like is this just saying? And you're like, what is this? What is this racist character? It's like just obviously whatever. And at first you say this is racist, but then you realize China is attacking their borders. So I guess and China does shit too. It's still wrong. It's not right to do it. You shouldn't do that.
No, that's hilarious though.
That is hilarious. They still dress up as girls too. They'll just dress up as girls.
Yeah, it's not like the fact that I would say like some of the scenes probably don't make any sense, but like the intention behind it is kind of funny. You gotta admit, it's kind of funny.
It is pretty funny, and like honestly, like okay, cancel them. I mean, cancel China for attacking the border, physically beating the shit out of them, dude. They just for 70 years now. They took over Tibet. Like this is all stuff that in America we're just like, what do you mean fighting? Like I saw the Winter on Fire documentary on Ukraine too. Like it gets ugly, man. It's like
we're so detached from that.
We don't even know. Yeah. So China, like just throw it like between India and China to throw these little insults back and forth. You gotta say, hey, internal issue. Let's say,
Right. Yeah,
no,
that makes sense.
But actually, you told me about a great topic yesterday. This
this thing is great, man.
I got the trailer and everything. I love Patrick.
Oh, there's a trailer for it?
That's what I was like. Ooh, golly, there's a trailer. I clicked on the link that said trailer, but this is it. I just there we go.
He's getting ripped pretty hard for the drop of this. Do you know anything about this?
No, tell me about it.
So, PBD. Patrick McDavid, basically, like he's got kind of like these weird ties with like these mafia guys.
Yeah, he loves them, eh?
Yeah, so he was he basically created like an interview and got these two guys, Sammy the Bull, and then it's like Michael Francesi, I think.
Yeah.
And he got him to sit down and talk with each other, which is like apparently kind of like a breakthrough moment in like the mafia community or whatever.
At least he's doing good.
He hyped it up, and he what's the name of it again? Mafia States. So it's Mafia States of America. The only thing that he's getting ripped for is he didn't drop it on YouTube. He made like a paywall on his website, and basically you have to pay extra for it to see Mafia States of America. So all these people are like, Patrick, you've been making free content for like 10 years, and then now you're making us pay on a website. So he's kind of getting ripped for it.
Okay, so that's the rip, eh? Not like, why are you glorifying and loving these mafia guys all the time? Okay, cool.
Right. Yeah, the rip is why are you making us pay for it? It's not you're hanging around mafia guys, dude. It's so funny that like it's like nobody probably bats an eye or like even thinks about. It's like why like he's got these weird like relationships with like old mafia guys. I mean,
dude,
it's kind of cool in a sense, but also it's like these guys aren't like, you know what I mean? They're not like angels.
No, not at all. And it's like, why? Like you're glorifying them. I mean, it almost shows you like, we had him on the show on the Drip like last year, and like he was defending. It was hilarious and like
literally hilarious.
What's that?
It's just that episode was so funny.
That was so silly, right? And he had so like total control of everything, and like he came in when he wanted. He had like 3 assistants. It was like all power moves, dude. Behind the scenes before he started, 3 assistants came on, and they were all so nice.
Serious?
And then 3 assistants came on, and then he comes on just kind of telling us about his time constraints off the top. It's like, okay, I'm gonna give you 40 minutes. You do this and say this, and any question you want, no problem. But I can only give you 40 minutes. Okay, good.
He's fascinating
Guy.
Look at this poster.
This poster is okay. So the one that I saw before, though,
that's not the one I sent.
Yeah, where did you send yours? On
I sent it. I texted it to you, but it's you got to go
get away with the trailer, or do you think they're gonna flag us for trailer?
They're probably gonna flag us. Go to Valuetainment's YouTube. Click it right there.
Yeah.
Click the name Valuetainment.
Got you.
And then click Community.
Yes, it was a flyer in here.
Yep, and then scroll down. There we go. Limited edition. signed Mafia States of America. This is what's so funny about this is like when he like, you got to think like when he, I guarantee when he like puts his head down at night and he goes to sleep, like in his head, he's like, I'm like one of the guys. I'm like one of the boys. Cause he put himself in there.
Dude, front and center. Like,
he's
are you Mafia? Are you the Mafia, dude? Because why is the front? But he is I'm the Mafia negotiator. I'm the official negotiator of the Mafia. Like, he's so proud of it. That's so silly, dude. Like, look at him front and center. And it's just so silly to me that like you couldn't get Rudy's signature. Why isn't Rudy signing off on this? Rudy has nothing going on in his life. Ever since Trump came into Rudy Giuliani's life, Giuliani has nothing, dude.
How strange is that there's 3 out of 5 signatures? I
know. Charles Palminteri. Like, who the hell is Chaz Palminteri?
Like, just
this guy's an actor, no?
Forge it or something. Just like put something random in there.
Honestly, if you go to Rudy Giuliani's website, I guarantee he has Rudy. What is it, G or J? Okay, here we go. I mean, the favorite photo of mine.
What do you think he said? Like when his assistant showed him like the flyer, and it was like, Pat, we only got like 3 out of the 5 signatures. What are we gonna do? Like, what do you think he said?
I think Patrick Bet-David pulled up this photo and said, "You couldn't get his goddamn signature." What do you mean? This guy has nothing going on. Like, his career's over, dude. Rudy Giuliani's like a kind of senior citizen that you call him and he goes, "Hi, Patrick. Wow, great. Let's do a thing. I'll come over. What are you doing?" Like, he's just old and his career is garbage. His name is in the gutter. And this is what is so funny / sad about anyone who, like, Trump, like, people on the left are like, they think that Trump has made them suffer. No, the people inside suffer the most. He's ruined these people's lives. Like, they are broken inside. A lot of these people, like Ted Cruz. Dude, Ted Cruz, he ripped his wife and all this shit. Giuliani, like, did a bunch of illegal stuff for Trump. Like, Trump bullied him into, like, just do it. Don't be a pussy, Rudy. Get it done. Does all this illegal shit. And then at the end, Trump didn't pay him and said, "Stop harassing me about the money, you idiot. You lost the case. Get out of here."
But like when he showed that, or when his assistant showed him that and he said that, what do you think like he said after that? He was like, just roll it out. Like, what do you think he said after that?
Honestly, after that, like, I know he's a spiritual guy and he does affirmations. After that, he probably said, come on. What's going on? What's happening? What's going on? Why can Rudy not sign the poster? Is this a sign from God? Is God saying, Jesus, what is happening? Like, he's probably thinking like, what's going on? Like, why isn't my Mafia States rollout happening so easy and nice? And like, why isn't everyone excited? Like, dude, Chaz Palminteri? Who's Chaz Palminteri? Get the signature, baby. Get the signature. Like, I feel like me and you could get a Chaz Palminteri signature. Let's see if Rudy has a signature.
Somebody's going to show up at your house in 2 hours and like put a bullet in your head for saying that.
What, Chaz Palminteri? No way, dude.
Yeah, like you're like talking down to one of these guys and somebody's gonna show up at your house.
Okay. You think Chaz Palminteri? I hope he doesn't have the time. I just feel like Chaz. I feel like you got disrespected, Chaz. Let's adjust this. Chaz, I feel like he's insulting you. Where's your signature? Maybe Chaz is like, listen, I'm too big for this. But there's no way Rudy Giuliani is saying I'm too big for this. Rudy Giuliani is washed up by definition as a politician, as a lawyer. Like, I mean, there's nothing going on in this man's life. Even this proud photo that they took, this is probably from like pre-Trump. I don't think he could take a photo like this. Now it's all silly. Also, his signature's just on the internet, so I don't know what the issue is there.
That's what makes no sense. Their signature's on the internet. And all they would have to do is like send you like a little drawing on the internet of your signature. I guess maybe it's like a permission thing, but I don't know.
Maybe it's a permission thing. Honestly, it makes me think that maybe Rudy and Chaz, and again, I want to say this again, Chaz maybe has a right to do this because maybe Chaz is a busy guy. I know in some of these documentaries, like it's like 2 mafia guys yelling at each other, and they're just and it's Patrick Bet-David like, okay, so why in 1982, why didn't you call him? What is going on? Like, he's just there like mediating or whatever.
Is there a more perfect person to do that than PBD?
PBD can do it. PBD has the power. He has the masculine power to maintain that room. Now it's up. Oddly, he's making it work. It's like, even here on the drip, like, I'm trying to do comedy and meditation type of stuff. I'm not going to do meditation on the show, but like, even I talk about spirituality, people are like, it's too new age. We don't like it. this guy, I mean, he's got a Republican angle, he's got like just a businessman sales angle, and then he's got a mafia angle, and he kind of makes them all work. It's very impressive, honestly.
He's fascinating. But what's interesting is like he's got like the pyramid scheme thing, obviously, but like he puts out business content, just like your everyday like entrepreneurship stuff. And then he goes and films with like two mafia guys. It's like, what is going on? But also like, it kind of works.
It kind of works because honestly, like this is how he does business. I mean, when we had him on the show, Steven, it's weird that he yelled at me at the end of that episode, by the way, because Steven was hounding him for an hour. And what pissed us off with him, and what pissed Steven off the most is that before we get on the call, he's doing all this dramatics. And then he goes, okay, I give you 40 minutes. You got to ask your question. Keep it polite. I like you guys. You guys are doing great. Okay, you both couple of trolls. Huh? Good boys.
Couple of trolls.
Start the show, and this is the magic of Patrick Bet-David, and such a salesy kind of like whatever. Every question, everything you ask, like okay, so like we pull up. Steven pulls up a chart. It's like okay, so nobody's making money here. Like 0.01% of people make I don't know $800,000. Like the economics of the pyramid scheme are bullshit. You're making all this money. People at the bottom are making less than $200 a year. How is this not a scam? How is this not a waste of time for all these people? And he would always just go into this like, you know, that's a great question. And that's really funny that you asked that. It's very smart for you to ask that question. It's a great question. It reminds me of a story as when I was 25 years old, I was dating a model and she told me this. And I'm like, and Steve, after the second or third one, I was almost trying to be respectful, be like, is this going to go to the thing? Like, but we're always like, how does this relate to the, okay, but don't forget the question. It's like, no, don't worry. No, this is the question. The answer to the question is that, but it was all, like, he gave us 40 minutes out of respect, and he was trying to beat the clock out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then at the end, when I asked him the one direct, like, honestly, like Steven was showing evidence, kind of yelling at him. And then at the end, I asked him the question.
Yeah, like, what did he yell at you for?
So this is what I bet, like, we go through the whole thing. Steven's ripping the guy, and he's just so like, you know, you're not letting me finish. Like, it's getting like very politely aggressive between the two of them. Then at the end, I asked one simple question. And I don't know why Steven set it up. Like, I think Steven even set it up like, okay, Amish, give him your rip. And it's like, dude, you told me about this 5 minutes ago. Like, that's the other thing with Patrick Bet-David. He's so politically minded and like art of war minded that he only told us like 5 minutes before, or like maybe an hour before. He gave us 1 hour notice. Hey, you guys are going live. Hey, oh, come on. And then even within that, they set up these three people. So he's really good at getting that advantage, I guess, right? And then, and then Steven's like, yeah, well, Amish has a big ripper for you right now. Go ahead, Amish. And I'm like, what? I don't know about this. But I asked him basically the major question that I want to ask him, because numbers, people jump around. They can make all their moral whatever. But I just want to get right to the morality of it, which is like, what good does an MLM do for America? You know what I mean? Like, put aside, first of all, it's not an MLM. It's allegedly an MLM. It's actually, it's a multi-tier financial. Do you know what a financial structured marketing company? Like, he had all new terms, so he's wasting more time in that. Backstories, he's spending time on that. But I just find at the end, I just said, like, what's the good for America? Like, putting aside all the terms and all the whatever. If the numbers are this, if you know there's this many people in the organization, 0.1% make like 96%, 93% of the money. And I'm not exaggerating this. It's like 0.1% of the people in a MLM make like 94%.
And then he yelled at you?
But I said, like, what good is it for America? Like, you know, because I know you love America and I know you love capitalism. Is this not a corruption on the very capitalism that you say you love? And he's like, you think you're funny? You think you're funny? I had better morning. Yeah, you can't shake me. You can't. He's like, sir, yeah, I know it. I'm like, that's the thing? It was so weird because I knew about it like an hour before. There was really no time to prep. Like, we just went into it. But that was like the one moral question. He was so civil with Steven. But I guess that's what happens, you know? He's just like, you're not famous, idiot. So he's just, or not even that. I think it really got under his skin, though. Like, I think it got under his skin that I'm saying, like, your content is at the same time, God bless America, God bless capitalism. This is how we are better than that. The West is better. So he truly does believe it. Like, he has a clip up where he says Hitler is a socialist. Like he has those clips where he basically says capitalism is so great and I think he has a video called 10 reasons why capitalism is better than communism. And in that clip, he just throws in there that like And by the way, Hitler's a socialist, so don't say he's our team. That's your guy.
Do you think in his head, at the end of the day, do you think he knows 100% that, like, he's come to grips with it, that people or PHP or whatever it's called is like it's a scam and it's hurting people, and he accepts that? Or do you think that he's made a argument in his head to kind of make it a positive thing, and he really thinks, like, although it's probably like crazy, he's made this thing where it's like, no, these people are making like their own decisions. Some people are making money in the company. He's kind of making all these justifications for it in his head. Which one do you think it is?
It's always the latter. I mean, nobody thinks they're evil. Even Hitler didn't think he was evil. And not to take it all the way to Hitler, but like, nobody thinks they're evil. They have justification in their head. That's why I was saying this yesterday. This is such a hot take. Hot take. I honestly think Donald Trump is more evil than Hitler, in the sense that someone like Hitler even is like, I'm doing everyone a favor. People are going to love me when I finish this. Trump is the kind of guy that comes across to me like, I'm going to take all their money.
How could you say Trump is more evil than Hitler?
Just because, listen, at the end of the day, I'm not saying that his impact was more evil. I'm just talking about, like, Hitler is out there saying... If somebody's
impact was more evil, then wouldn't that mean they're more evil?
No, but I'm just talking about it on a psychological level. Similar to this thing, where on a psychological level, Hitler is acting with this good in his mind. He's justified himself as like, I'm this great guy. I'm going to save the whole world. I'm going to spread this thing. They're all going to say, thank you. We can be German, or whatever it is. Trump, I don't think Trump has that. Like, some people don't have that at all. Like, they just have like, how are we going to take what we need and get the hell out of here?
I think, well, I mean, Hitler,
it's pretty extreme, I know.
You know, I mean, I think you just need to word it better, because they probably have different mindsets. Like, at the end of the day, like you're saying, you know what I mean? But I mean, I don't think Hitler would be more evil. But at the end of the day, I think Trump is he's this super competitive dude, and he knows he's polarizing half of America. He knows that he's like, everything he says is getting this side more riled up and is uniting this side more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So he knows what he's doing. It just seems to me like the whole time, even with the Republicans, man, and I feel sorry for the Republicans, like Rudy Giuliani, like Ted Cruz, like, he screws them so much. Like, they're his friends. They put their careers on the line. They put their lives on the line for him, and he'll just rip them, dude. He'll use them and throw them in the garbage after. And I feel like there was, there is like other people. There's other types of evil. I think it's the difference between a sociopath and a psychopath, where I think with people like Trump, I just saw an insane documentary yesterday about, R. Kelly too. Like, it's almost like there's nothing in there. It's blank. There's no ideology. There's no like good or evil thought. It's just they're in this next moment, and in this next moment, they're like, how do I win this? And then how do I win this? And then how do I? There's like no thought of the future. You know what I'm saying?
There's no heart. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas I think Patrick Bet-David has a big heart. I think he's a great guy. He's nice. He goes to the, like, you got to understand, he started this MLM, whatever, allegedly, whatever you want to call it. He starts it when he's 21 years old. And he talks about his days when he was 21. He was talking about how, like, I had 4 girlfriends and I had to pick one. And he talks about, like, he was like a very strong man at 21. He gets into this business. He even went to meet, apparently, the guy who made Amway. And he's like, how do I make my own? How do I get rich? And the guy from Amway is like, listen, kid, you got hustle, you got spunk, start your own. There's only money if you start your own shit. You're only going to make money if you start your own shit. After like 4 or 5 generations of these pyramid schemes, they don't make any money. They're all just circle jerking themselves. You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing. So he's the one who told PBD, make your own. And that's how you're going to make the big bucks. And then it's like, at this point, you're 25 years in, dude. You have a wife and a kid. It's paid for all that. It's hard to, at this point, turn around and be like, yeah, okay, no one's making any money. In fact, like, I think just 2 years ago or last year, he has like a whole video about how, like, why MLMs are great for society and how, how they help people and all this shit. So, yeah, I think he's done the calculations in his head.
Didn't you say you used to watch his podcast, like, to get your news? Yeah, it's great. No, you don't like it? Do you still watch it? No, I haven't seen it in a bit. I haven't seen it in a bit either, but I used to watch it for some reason I used to watch it like religiously. Same. I don't know why. I had a weird like I got caught in PBD's algorithm for a second where I was everything showing up was PBD podcast, and like they were just like, I don't know. It's not bad.
No, it's not bad. I love the comments on this. Like, see, his community has a sense of morality. I mean, they have this. I love he's front and center. Even at his house, I love how he has like the Joker, and then he has Tupac, and he has like a painting behind him of that. Like, I think it's cool. Grown up should do stuff like that. But the top comment, she's like, "Lol, Patrick thinking people want his signature. So weird. He included himself in this. It is weird. It is like, as an interviewer, like you're supposed to be like a partial outside person. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Love the series. Just need subtitles. Sometimes it's hard to understand, especially with the wind blowing nonstop in the background. Wow."
Read that one from Crypto Life.
Yo, I think Crypto Life is in our comments. This is like having a director on a movie poster. This guy loves his sound too. Has got the better success. Has got the better of him. Good one, dude. Show to grade. I would have bought it if Patrick didn't inject himself into the poster. People want this for Sammy and Michael, not because they want to look at the face of the host of the chat. Okay, so that's why it is. Maybe Sammy and Michael are the main two guys, I guess. I think it is like an ongoing beef with them.
Do you think he
it's this guy and this guy? I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Go back down to those comments. Do you think he's he's read those comments?
No, dude. I don't think you can operate on his level of reading the comments. Like I
agree with you, but I'm just like, I'm wondering what he would think like if he came across one of them like. Like, what do you think he would say if like his assistant like sent him one of those comments where it's like, why did you inject yourself in the post? Like, I wonder what do you think he would say?
Honestly, he's such a smooth operator. He's so smart. He would act. I honestly wouldn't put it past him if he did that already. He posted like, okay, guys, a lot of good jokers in the community, a lot of They say, oh, I'd watch it if Patrick was in it. Okay, well, guys, I'm doing my best for the community. I've always been a big fan of these guys. The Mafia thing though, like just last point on him too, is like, it really shows you his mentality on business too. Like he has a cutthroat military mentality of the marketplace. So when you talk to him about like, why is the profit structure like this on an MLM? He kind of looks at it as like, you see, they love, it's like the capitalist loves the market like Muslims love Allah. You know what I'm saying? He's basically like the market, the free market. The free market has God's hand in it. So if I'm getting the money, that's God's will. That's kind of what they believe a little bit. And that's what he preaches on his channel. Like he has like whole videos about, communism's coming and we got to like fight against it and capital, which I agree with him. I love cap. I don't agree that communism's coming. I think it's crazy that no one's into it. But it is a good way to get hits, I guess. I don't know.
It's so interesting how he's so pro. Yeah, like you said, he's so pro capitalism, pro free market. And then on the other end of it, he runs an MLM. It's like, that's like, I don't even know what that would, like a good analogy to that would be like.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like, yeah, you are the very corrupting influence. And that's what hurt his feelings, honestly. I think he was prepared for every other question, to be honest. I think that's what happened on the interview. He was prepped for every other question. But when the morality question came in, it really puts the two head to head with each other. Like, you love America.
It becomes personal in a way.
It's almost personal in a way. It's like you're kind of ruining these people. You're ruining Americans' lives and you're ruining the American economy to do this thing. And like, I don't know. It is a tough argument to make though, because when capitalism is a great place to hide a scam, because so many con artists have been like, well, it's capitalism. Like even I remember in the documentary about Herbalife, some guy's like, hey, this is a pyramid scheme. And he goes, all corporations are a pyramid scheme. CEO at the top, then you got a couple more people, workers at the bottom. What do you want? All capitalism.
Do you think all MLMs should be illegal?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, they have like, it's good luck. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but I think to save America, it's like, look, it's not gonna be one thing that takes down America. I love America. God bless America. Love it. It's gonna be like 3-4 like heavily corrupting influences. I would say military industrial complex is a big one. Like they're just, your money is just constantly being spent on these wars and the money's not there anymore. So like you're borrowing money from China to go to war with Iraq. You're destroying a country. You're, over the long run, Ron Paul said this when he was running for office years ago, but a lot of the terrorist attacks are blowback. Not to blame the American people. It's not anyone's fault personally, obviously. And what the person did is awful, but you know, if you keep messing with them and you keep funding terrorists like Bin Laden was funded by them, Saddam Hussein, like they don't know what they're doing there. They're always like meddling in foreign affairs. And so that's one, I think, big corrupting influence on America. Eisenhower said it too. President Eisenhower, when he was leaving office, he says it in a speech that like this military industrial complex, like I can't watch them. They tell me what to do. Like he says it, and it's been kind of known. And I think it's coming to a peak now with Iraq war, Vietnam. But I think Iraq was like a peak of it, and maybe that's a big corrupting influence. But the other one I think is corruption within the financial markets here. So when Bill Clinton left office, he repealed this Glass-Steagall Act. So Glass-Steagall Act allows for all this bullshit day trading to happen now. And it's kind of like what's happening with crypto too, with all these speculative markets. It just allows a bunch of people to be like, I'm not going to create any real value in this capitalist society that we have. I'm just going to buy a stock here and sell it here and pull out 5,000, and then buy a stock here and short trade it here and make another 5,000. It's like, there's nothing, you're not doing any good for this society. You're making the market more volatile.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I would say day trading, because if you ban day trading, it's like, where is that line? Because I don't think, like, you probably want to have the argument to where, like, if you buy a stock on online, you say you buy like Apple and you sell it in a few months. I mean, you agreed to buy the stock at that price, and then say you sold it for twice as much 3 months down the line. That person thought the same thing that you think when you bought it. They thought it was a good idea. They thought it was a good investment. So where's that line? Where does that line become? Is it a day? Is it a week? So I think that's the trouble with the day trading argument. I think it is a little bit different. That's one thing, but I think it's a little bit different.
It is different. It is different from MLM. But I
just MLM,
say like
these rules are
complex. Is
well, MLM is almost like, in a way, it's like you're almost basically just preying on, in my opinion, you're preying on the weak. You're preying on the people that don't understand exactly what they're doing, or they do sometimes, but they're like, I know people personally that like I got sucked into an MLM and they didn't know until like I told them, and they like, it's not that they figured it out and was like trying to get up. They just didn't know. They thought that they were learning all this stuff. All the courses and stuff were just complete bullshit. So
you'd be surprised how similar that is to day trading, though, because the day trading classes, like even with Swagacat, when
it crosses over a little bit. It crosses over,
and they actually do the day trading on top of an MLM. So they don't actually teach you to day trade. They teach you how to teach day trading, and then that teaching class becomes its own kind of like free-form MLM. So I think that those classes, those get-rich-quick classes, are definitely like a kind of an MLM. It's just like a free-formed MLM. But I think with the Glass-Steagall Act that Bill Clinton repealed as he was leaving office, what ended up happening is that, like, because the problem with any kind of financial corruption is that it's so complex that you just can't wrap your head around it as a citizen. And so by the time you figure out like you're in a get-rich-quick scheme, they were so good at selling you the dream that it's like, oh, like 10 years went by. Yeah, that's kind of what we were saying to Patrick David too. It's like someone's gonna go 10 years into this company, 15 years into this company of their prime, making $200, like making, the $200 a year people are one thing because it's like they obviously have another job, but making like $30,000 a year, thinking like working at crazy hours, making $30,000, thinking like in a couple of years I'll make six figures. It's not gonna happen. Statistically, it's not gonna happen. You're not gonna cross over there.
Yeah, I get what you're saying totally.
Yeah, but the complexities are like, because the FTC has a hard time touching any of them. So now a bill just passed to like push back on MLMs a little bit, but it's not easy to do. You know what I mean? It's complex.
It's very complex. That's why like I'm torn between the two sides. I don't honestly, and you can call me whatever, you can rip me on this or tell me I have like no heart or whatever, but I'm torn between like whether MLMs should be like, they should be cracked down upon and be banned, or whether it should all be open. Because on one hand, I understand the damage it does to people, and then it's like it's like a ripple effect. It damages people's family life. It damages people because somebody gets caught in that. I understand
a corruption
that,
on the economy, I'd say.
Yeah, but on the other side, I know a ton of people that never in a million years would ever get caught up in a in an MLM or a pyramid scheme just because they have a certain whatever code of knowledge where they understand, they're skeptical, they understand that it's not really providing value, it's not a good whatever. So, and I do think that, there has to be a response there. If the responsibility on the person themselves getting into that situation. Like, I feel like if you're banning MLMs, you're just kind of throwing that out the window. Like, you know what I mean? Because there are people that get caught into it, and then like a couple years later they figure it out and then they get out of there. Like, that is not a bad situation that they learn that, like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I guess you like, look, overall, I think you got to look at your country's efficiency maybe too. That's why I take it back to that place of like, and this is what I even said to Patrick David. I'm like, you want America to be number one. Do you think this makes you stronger compared to China? Let's say if China says, okay, we're not going to allow this shit here. It's like corrupting our economy. It's putting a bunch of our citizens into this fruitless activity. Like, nothing's coming. It's just a circle jerk of them all playing a shell game. Jerk. It's a total circle jerk, right?
Complete
so it's like,
circle jerk.
If a country says like, we're not going to allow this, and in America, like, so there's a great documentary I've talked about this a bunch of times. It's called Rare Earth, and it's about how like this whole country became a pyramid scheme. It's like an Eastern European country. I can probably find it, and it's like the whole the government was involved in pyramid schemes too. Like, they completely legalized it, and he was saying that even at the height of these pyramid schemes that like destroyed their economy, destroyed the country, it was still less percentage of their total GDP than in the USA.
Oh my gosh!
Trump owned two. Like, Trump owned two. Like,
I've seen
the one that I was in.
Yeah. No, you go ahead.
I was in one called Trump University. That was like a get rich quick in real estate pyramid scheme. Like, where we'd go, like, we bought the first class for $2,000, and then you go, dude. I couldn't believe, dude, this guy has no shame. Within 10 minutes, he's telling us about another $40,000 worth of classes, and how like it's actually $80,000. But if you buy him at the end of today, if you buy him at lunch today, we're gonna get you down half price, whatever. And they kept doing these like made up offers all the way through the whole event. I stayed for both days because I was like, it's $2,000. Even my mom was like, I told my mom the first, because my dad made us buy it as a family.
$2,000, right? He paid the $2,000.
Yeah, I mean, my mom.
He paid
whatever. He made my mom pay it. So she handles the money, so it's like whatever. Yeah.
Okay. And your mom like was skeptical, wasn't she?
Dude, we were all like, they advertised this in some immigrant newspaper. We saw like 5 other Patels there, all rolling our eyes. Like, after the presentation, and they did the classic thing at the end of the presentation where they go, what they do is they put an ad in the newspaper, right? And it says, hey, great money-making opportunity. Come, it's absolutely free. We just want to help the community. Donald Trump wants to help the community. So come to the airport, Dixon Road, Hilton at 2 p.m. on Sunday, and we're going to teach you how to get rich in real estate, whatever. We go, it's half brown people, all rolling their eyes. I look at my dad. My dad's a dreamer. Dad is a dreamer. And at the end, the whole class is just, here's how you can get rich. Here's all these like fascinating, so good, like such great stories, whatever. Kind of like very similar to Patrick David, actually. Very good at like spinning stories into like, so that's how you can become a millionaire. And that's why you never know what God's plan is. And tomorrow the money could fall in your lap. Like, he just it was a great service. I got to say, the guy was very charismatic. But at the end, they did this move where they go, okay, we're going to have signups. We're going to have applications open, serious people only. And we're only putting it for 10 minutes because, honestly, we find that people after that aren't serious and we don't want them. As he's saying it, 2 people at the front run to the back to sign up.
Oh my God.
This is why we're rolling our eyes. We're like dying. We're like, oh my God. How could you get this? I'm like, it's just all of these brown people rolling their eyes. I look over to my dad. I'm like, a sea of brown people rolling their eyes. My dad's like, let's go. Let's sign it up. Dad is a dreamer.
When those 2 guys like ran back, like, what did
a guy and a girl.
Say? Like, what did your mom say? Oh, it was a guy and a girl. Like,
me and my mom are like both like, no, we just thought they were idiots. But then I found out when I went to Trump University, they were already students, so they were plants. They were legit plants. No shame about it. No shame about it. We showed up at the school so we bought it, 2,000. We go to the school. These 2 are like, they're in the back, but they're like teachers already. So there's no shame in it. The guy says, yeah, that's Karen, and that's Mikey and they're both students actually, and they're advanced students, so they'll be helping you with your applications. So the advanced students have to do the run back.
But though they like you said, they weren't actually like real people. They were like fake.
They were basically the last round of suckers. Then you get to act in the next thing. Like that's the thing. You pay them 40,000, and then you get this acting gig. So so the girl, I talked to both of them because they have to talk to you. They basically this is how great the pyramid scheme system is, dude. You go, and instead of them teaching, like half the class is taught to you by someone who paid to be in the class. It's like their co-op placement is teaching you the class. So the teacher's not even teaching it. You're getting it from someone else who paid 40,000 last time. Like when you go to the class, within 5 minutes, he's selling you the next $40,000 worth of classes. He's like, you got to do the upgrades. What are you doing with 2,000? At the hotel, they were saying like, all you need is here. One weekend, you'll be a millionaire. It's everything you need. The first 5 minutes when we get there, he goes, this is nothing, because what are you going to do with the millions of dollars? You got to do the extra investing class. And then they had like 4 classes, and then the last one was like a day trading type of class too, like how to pick quick winners stocks class. That's like another 5,000. So they're like, do the whole package, 40,000. So this girl and the guy, they both had bought either for 20, like a 10,000 or a 20,000, because they're just making up the prices all the time. It's literally like, how much can we get out of this guy? And they rewrite the price. So I don't know what these two paid, but they literally paid, and then they taught half of the weekend.
I wonder where they're at now. Those two were probably Patrick Bet-David's parents.
Yeah, I don't know. So young.
That's hilarious.
Like, yeah, it's so funny, dude.
That is so funny.
They believed in it. Then they had to do the act out for the first one. But yeah. Anyway, all that to say, like, I agree with you. Like, it's hard to stop it. And then here's the other thing. And I think this is why I think Patrick Bet-David does a lot of the pro-capitalist videos, because the message of pro-capitalist videos is don't ever stop the free market. The free market is nothing but the will of God. So if you believe in workers' rights, if you believe in like, is your financial company a scam? This is all anti-capitalist, and you must stop. Like, that's kind of, if you watch any of his Patrick PBD's capitalism videos, that's kind of what the final message is. So he's pulling those people in. And I remember Steven used to talk about this too. Like, it's crazy how much money there is in, like, conservative grifting is big money.
I mean, isn't grifting on both sides big money?
Liberals, it seems like the money on the left-wing side is more legit, but then there is like little things like Joe Biden coffee, like they're getting you on that. But I feel like on the conservative grift, it's like Trump. We were just on the Trump website, dude. He's still collecting money for Stop the Steal, and he's like, get the hat and save America. It's always like a save America message. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but maybe we're just seeing that.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Like, so the main like products on like from a conservative grift would be like, a lot of them do like pills and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like daily, like vitamins is a big one. Like that was a big one with Alex Jones. But like, what
productivity?
But I think like, I mean, merch and productivity. But I think merch would be another one. But merch is definitely both sides. Like, yeah.
Well, I'm with her. Like those Hillary Clinton. Like that's just. See, to me, it's like, I would say the difference is almost like the left-wing scams are like a mass scam. Like they have CNN and MSNBC. So they're doing stuff like, I feel like I'm with her. I don't want to call that a scam, but like if you're selling merch on it, like it is kind of similar, because she's selling it as like, hey, don't you love women? Why do you hate women? Say I'm with her. Like during the 2016 election, that is grifty, because like she does not represent women's rights or any left-wing anything. She was just a corporatist. She never had anything, like she was never helping anyone. But that's more of like a mainstream mass scam, I feel like, that people don't consider a scam even till this day. Like they just think like, well, I voted for her and she lost. I think it's a mass scam. Trump, it was more grassroots scam. Like it's like, hey man, like he's collecting $50 at a time to be like, save America, $50 at a time. And puts it on the monthly. Like he has the check boxes where it's like automatically checked to go monthly on it.
He does on his website?
Yeah, dude. Have you seen it? It's great.
No.
Let's check it out. I'll show you the website. It's actually a great website. Read some comments if you can read them. I'll find this website.
I don't even know where to read them.
Oh, you can't see them on the screen right now?
Oh, I can kind of see it.
Oh, they're too small, eh? Damn it. Dude, Trump is like
This guy said political merch is always ridiculously corny, though. I agree.
Yeah,
most of the time.
It is so corny. Yeah, let's do a share on this. This is great shit. Yeah, let me just shout out these names. Mac23806, what's up, baby? Josh Angel, Raziel the Great, Bold, Saint Moon. So many people in the audience. Thanks for coming, everyone. Fern, Fubs, Yahoovy, always here. Ho&I'm production. That wrench looking good, baby. Love Fun Beer. Love Fun Beer. That's such a good. That is like almost like. it's like if you made a university movie about getting laid, and then the foreign exchange students. Hi, my name is Love Fun Beer. For the USA to be free, they have to bomb every other country. God's sake, we bombed the Dominican Republic once, which is the Caribbean, and invaded South America. Love Fun Beer. Roberta Blake, agree with you. Yay. Oh, Yahoovy. Stock picking takes skill. It's not made up. It's real ownership of a company. I love stocks, man. It democratizes wealth creation. It is the most communistic thing that isn't really communist. Yeah, that is a good point. Oh,
what is?
What he's saying is that like he believes in I just think it's a good point that like being able to buy stocks in a company and having control of a company, it is kind of communistic in the sense that like in that sense, all the stock, like the stock, you've opened up the company's like influence to the market, and like you can pick and choose who want. Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I don't think so at all. I don't think so at all. No.
You don't think it's I think the spirit of it is like that. I don't think it plays out like that a lot of times, because if the company is just like some bullshit MLM or like they're not creating any real value, then it is just a bunch of people grifting on a grift, I guess. I don't know, but
I mean, no, I don't think so. I mean, I think it's private ownership of a company. It's just like if me and you were to both own 50% of a company, it's
right.
Private ownership. It's just that, but extrapolated out. I mean, I think the fact that somebody can own somebody who has like a 9-to-5 job and doesn't have a ton of extra money and is kind of living paycheck to paycheck can own part of like Amazon or Microsoft. Like, I think that is like one of the most amazing things about the economy.
Roberto Beggs' argument to what is being said is capital allocation is a skill. Also, retail investors do exist. I mean, like basically, there's a bunch of people in the audience saying like, basically on the side of like day trading is a real skill. You know, maybe I shouldn't have brought day trading into it. I just feel like it's just more like since that act was passed, the Glass-Steagall Act was repealed actually by Bill Clinton. There's just been more room for speculators in the market in general. But yeah, day trading is like it's a free country, and I guess you can day trade. Like it is weird that I brought that up. It's not even about the day trading. It's more about like crossing that line into just straight up like doing something that is volatile for the market, or some form of like there does seem to be a lot more corruption. And a lot of people say that the 2008 financial crisis was caused by the repealing of the Glass-Steagall Act. I don't know if everyone's going to agree with that one, but yeah, but I think financial regulation in general, like without putting it on day traders, like financial regulation in general is like a very difficult thing to do, but ultimately it saves capitalism. It saves the free market. It's not this thing that we should look at as like, oh, you're going to regulate MLMs. Well, there goes capitalism. It's like, no, people need to know exactly what they're getting into. And there is quite a bit of some good stuff on there. Meaning like with MLMs, like they do have to disclose a lot of things. There's a lot of like legal laws that they have to do that are, I think, good, but it just doesn't go far enough.
Did you pull up Trump's website?
Yeah, I got it. Stale Grafton. President Trump wants to meet you at his South Carolina rally. Okay, so I guess he's not doing the vote. The election was stolen. Okay. Here we go. So what are we looking at? 250 is automatically selected, right? Save America, President Donald J. Trump. Meet President Trump. We'll cover your hotel. We'll cover your flight. You'll get to bring a friend or family member. You'll get to meet President Trump backstage. Wow, I guess this is like a guy who's milking every little bit out of his success. Like he's just like, where else am I going to go now? And just get every penny I can out of it. But yeah, that seems like a lot. Yeah, when you start doing like one-on-one, urgent, President Trump needs you to complete your donation right now. This is lazy. It's like you don't even have like a real reason here. But,
what's sketchy about this, and it's just weird, is like it's not a for sure thing. Like, he hasn't announced like, I'm 100% no matter what gonna run in 2024. If he did, it wouldn't be that crazy that he's bringing in donations for a political campaign. That's what everybody does.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's kind of like in the middle of like, like hasn't really said I'm going to run yet, but I'm still going to be doing rallies and do this. And I'm going to be taking donations while I do it. And you know what I mean? It's like, he's in the middle. That's why it's like pick a side, dude.
I think until like for a good while, he was doing like, the election was stolen from me. Give me money to fight back and take back the election. And he was saying it. I think he finally, like just now, like maybe in the last like 4 months, has dropped this whole like the election was stolen from me thing. I haven't heard much of it, and it could be like legal issues because I know a lot of the voting. Like I think after like you went through all the legal battles and like you lose all of them, I think legally people are like, okay, this is slander now. You can't just say the election was stolen from you. This is also weird though. Auto check marked. This first one, okay, the future of our country is at stake, and President Trump is calling on all patriots to join his fight to save America. Will you sign up? Make this a monthly recurring donation. Okay, that's auto-checked. That's one thing. But what? This one, I'm just like, just chill. We can't slow down. President Trump is calling on you to step up before our next deadline. Having enough cash on hand is essential to saving America from Joe Biden and his liberal cronies. Step up now. Donate an additional $100 automatically on for March 10th. That's a quick money grab. So basically you think you're signing up for $250. It's a monthly, and in 2 days, I think this updates every day. In 2 days, you're just throwing an extra $100 because like, God bless America. Because I love America so much. It's just like I love America so much. And I think this is every year. So now we got $100 monthly, 100 plus on 310. I mean, yeah, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is
like,
yep.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say like, this is like, if it wasn't for some U.S. laws, like this would be even worse. Like for a while, he was saying like the election was stolen from me. We got to fight back. I'm pretty sure legally he's not allowed to say that now. So now he's just kind of doing this in general Save America thing, and then all these like things at the bottom are all like legal things that I feel like the U.S. government. So anyway, just to say like it's not like the U.S. government doesn't do some regulation. It's just that over the years, like the people that are in like the people who it benefits to not have those regulations, they're always working on repealing laws, I feel like, and then they're always working on propaganda that's like, any laws on the free market is an attack on capitalism, it's an attack on America. And really, it's like, no, man, you're an attack on America. I mean, this is not... Right. This is, and just, I think, no reason for this.
Like, when you were talking about the, like, how Steven was saying there's, like, a ton of money in the conservative grift, I would say, like, the main difference from my perspective would be, like, I feel like with the liberal grift, like the liberal narrative, like spewing that, I feel like you're getting more money from, I mean, obviously you're getting more money from corporations, you're getting, you have Hollywood, you have all those things. That's where you're probably getting more like donations and stuff. I feel like with the conservative stuff, they don't have nearly as much pull with corporations, Hollywood, Universal is another one. But I feel like they do have more pull with just people, everyday people. So like, I feel like there is a lot more money in the conservative grift with everyday people, but with the corporations and stuff, I think that's where the liberal grift would come into play. You know what I mean?
The liberal shines in media. And I think that's what really pissed everyone off about Trump, because he took over their media game. Like, I mean, they thought they were kings of the media and they were doing it shitty. And then Trump comes in and he's like, I can just control all of you. And he did it so easily and so effortlessly. And it is, you know, sometimes I do, it's almost like I sound like a fan or something. I'm not, like, I do think there's like no morality in there. When you watch his documentary, you're just like, this guy's not, that's why even a lot of times when people are like I know friends of mine, even I was at a meditation yesterday and they were upset about something like this. And it's like, don't hold your breath on an apology for January 6th, for this, for like, there's nothing in there. They're not even thinking on that. They're like on to their next thing and they're gone. But there's people who are like, I'm going to own them and I'm going to destroy them. You're not owning anything. It doesn't matter how good your rip was on Twitter. Like, it's a waste of time to fight with these people. Like, they're just crazy. And I think it's better to just kind of like watch them without getting emotional. Yeah. I think that's the key.
You got to be able to detach. I mean, I know so many people that are just so caught up in politics, dude. And it's like, it affects the way they think. It affects it gets them like riled up. I'm like, you just don't have that much time here on this planet, you know?
Wow.
And you just don't have that much time. And like, yeah, the ability to detach from it emotionally, that's where it's at, because a lot of it is nonsense.
And from what I've heard,
I gotta cut out of here soon.
go. Yeah, I gotta get out of here too. That's a great final word. But thanks, man. Thanks for coming.
Oh yeah, no, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, you gotta go. I gotta go watch Batman, basically.
Oh yeah, let me know what you think. I mean, I loved it.
It's banger, eh? It looks like such a
banger. Banger. I would say out of all Batmans, I would say it's top 3. I think the best 3 Batman movies are Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and then The Batman.
Big words, man. Beautiful. Thanks, man. Thanks.
All right. Yeah, thanks for having me on, bro.
Yeah, dude. Peace. We'll do
all
it
right,
again.
Later.
Let's turn on the comment cam. Even though my internet's going wacky badaki right now, I got to figure out some internet thing. But at the end of the day, listen, the message is coming across because the audio is coming across. I'm freezing out. Yeah, you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to get a direct line. Today we got the sound effects. Didn't really use them in conversation, not going to lie. But you know what? Can y'all hear this? Hold up. Advanced, share computer, and God is great.
You have to make money.
Lord have mercy.
CEB Applejack 59. Amish, do you have ulcerative colitis? Yes, I do, brother. Yes, I do. It's a big issue. And let me tell you what I think is going to fix it. And I think we should be doing some clips on ulcerative colitis because it's a big issue in the whole community. And honestly, nobody knows what to do about it. Sukhbir Singh says, Amish, talk about girls. Your stories are so funny. Baby, I'm going to be back tomorrow to talk about girls. Okay? We'll be back tomorrow to talk about girls. Today we did politics. Honestly, I've been researching NFTs and it's like, here's the thing. It's not illegal. It doesn't have to be such a scam. I guess kind of like day trading, you know, and listen, no offense if you're a day trader. I know some day traders. It does seem unstable. It does seem a little gambly, but yeah, no, listen, if you're making it work, you're making it work and it's fair and it's legal. So like, I mean, I don't know why I brought that into that. What bothers me is just the general corruption in the financial market where, you know, like a lot of these, like, well, first of all, the fact that MLMs are legal, I would consider that a corruption in the financial regulation market. Like, it's not impossible to make that illegal. It's not crazy, and it's not an attack on the free market, in my opinion. So there's that, but also I'm talking about, like, there's been a lot of corporate shenanigans. You know, like the whole thing about like buying, like bundling shitty mortgages and selling them to China. Like I was talking about more of that stuff, and I brought up day trading. So my bad on that. Thanks everyone for coming. You're all loved. You're appreciated. Today I have to go see Batman, the Batman. And usually I don't get caught up in these movies, but the Batman, the reason why I need to watch it today, and I already bought my ticket, I'm so excited to watch it, is I have to watch it today. I was going to watch it yesterday. Yesterday, I was going to go watch it. And I was like, you know what? Yesterday, it would have been responsible as a podcaster, I guess, to have Batman today, to talk about Batman today. But then as a brown person, I said, you can't make a special trip for Batman and tomorrow's Tuesday. So my culture stepped in and said, listen, man, you can't just go, you can't run off to do this. You know how expensive gas is? Gas is the most expensive it's ever been, ever in history, I think. Something like that. I don't know if Republicans are just saying that to rip Joe Biden. This is a big deal for Joe Biden, by the way. This is a big deal. People say that Carter lost because they had a gas crisis. Like the oil prices went up. There's like lineups at the tank. And the American people said, get rid of them. CB Applejack. Oh, hold up. CB Applejack with $2. Praise God. That's very good. That's very good, CB Applejack. Thank you so much for coming in. No, the wrong sound effect. It's coming in okay.
Praise God.
That's the...
Praise God.
That one I got from a documentary. It was, you know where I got that sound effect from? It was this guy, this preacher was selling a scam, basically. He's like, we've already made $200,000, and with your help, we're going to make $1 million by the end of the week.
Praise God.
And the crowd just started clapping for him. CB Applejack, $2. Thank you so much. Me too. I have a crazy story about that. I wanna. So yo, tomorrow, let's get on and do dating stories. And you know what I'll do for you guys, for the community? I'll go try to pick up some girls on the street today, just so I can come back. Gotta tell you something. We need daily content. Also, I gotta look into NFTs a little more. I got a little trigger happy with that thumbnail. I made it sound like the whole thing was about NFTs. Listen, that's what happens when you're on the daily rip. It's like, I got to figure out now. There's like a couple of things I got to do now, and then I got to figure out what tomorrow's rip's going to be. But tomorrow, let's keep it on dating. And that's why I planned my day like this. I was like, tomorrow I'll go to the area. Let me try out some moves. Because honestly, and if they bomb, they're going to be so funny. You guys are going to lose your shit. You guys are going to, like, yesterday, though, the best story that yesterday, oh my God. Sorry, CB Applejack, $59, $2. When it hit me, I almost died. Was in the hospital for a month. I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, do you have ulcerative colitis? Yes. Oh, crazy story about that. Okay, when you hit, I almost died. I was in the hospital. Okay, dude, I thought you were talking about the picking up girls thing, which is what Sukhbir was talking about. Because Sukhbir Singh was like, Amish, talk about you. I think he said like picking up girls, but really he's saying failing with picking up girls. Because let me tell you something, as a comedian, don't ever tell the story where you got laid. Only tell the story. This is a comedian's rule. It's an unsaid rule. I've been in comedy shows where someone's talking about, like, yo, so then I banged her, then I banged her husband too, banged her dad, bro. And then everyone's like, no. Talk about the time when you tried to bang her and she said, ew, that's what the people want. But yesterday was the best, dude. The football player move. So CEB Applejack, tomorrow, let's do that tomorrow as well, because I do have to head out to watch this movie. And like I said, for the community, so that I have more stories, Sukhbir Singh, nobody besides your close friend. Okay, yeah. Sukhbir Singh, I'll be back. It says, now he's saying nobody besides your close friends wants to hear. Well, I don't know. Oh, you're talking about the ulcerative colitis. Let me tell you something, Sukhbir Singh. There's a lot of demand in the community for ulcerative colitis content because it's a great mystery. Nobody knows how to fix it. You know what the official thing is? It's a $4,000 a month medicine. And in Canada, you have to pay $4,000 a month. You have to pay for, like, the government covers the healthcare, but they don't cover this medicine. So I know a guy who's taking it. It's $4,000 a month. They put you on a drip, and then the drip goes in, and it does something to the ulcerative colitis. And then the other one that I know of is people just get their ulcers removed. Not ulcers. They get their, like, intestines removed. No. I've tried everything. But then this week I tried yogurt. My roommate told me, and he's a genius. And he's the same one. He's the same one who, like, I woke up the other day and he had clients over, and I walk out of my room and he's like, Amish, mask. Inside the house, we got to do a mask. Same roommate. So, you know, all people are special in that way, because it's like he's the same guy who's like, yo, you got to put on your mask. He's going to be on top of it with the ulcerative colitis too. So he has the cure, the secret cure. And we'll talk about it more tomorrow. And yeah, hopefully, like, let's do some more dating stories tomorrow, because honestly, that's good shit. CB Applejack 59, Mr. Beast on Remicade. I am on Humira. So these are both medicines. CB Applejack, I would love to hear about this from you tomorrow. I know Sukhbir Singh said nobody wants to hear it. But you, CB Applejack, let's do an ulcerative colitis special tomorrow. And I'm going to come back with the NFT tokens probably next week. Let me do a little more research and figure out. Let's get Token Brown Guy token. Because, I mean, like, do we want to be a typical channel that just does, like what? Like donations and it's like, come on. This is the drip, right? This is the drip, rip, and dip. Let's do something original. Let's do something cool. I feel like NFT Token Brown Guy token is hilarious. And I don't think it's necessarily unethical. Kind of like day trading. Quite frankly, it's not unethical to just make an NFT. Like, the whole thing's not a scam. Even some cryptos are good. Some NFTs are good. Let's see the ethical. We'll be studying as the weeks go on, the moral, ethical issues of that. I'm going to America for a wedding next week, so there's going to be some service interruptions there, but I'll probably be in and out. Oh my God, yesterday's story was so good. I got to cut a clip out of that. Such a funny story yesterday about the girl who, like, basically suckered me into buying her a drink. And then after I bought her the drink, I was like, yeah, so, you know, I'm a writer. I do this, whatever. And then she was just like, get me out of here. And then she just ran away back to her crew and started making out with some guy. Not even making out, just like dancing on him. It was so funny. It was so funny. It was on yesterday's episode. So silly. What a silly thing to do. For a $3 drink. $3 for the drink. And she does this. Anyway, tomorrow, we'll be back tomorrow. And you are loved, and you are loved. Have a great day.